Welcome to A Damn Good Question, the weekly broadcast that helps you understand the top news stories with a conservative twist.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to A Damn Good Question podcast. Sitting across from me, as always, friend, co-host, producer, sidekick, superhero in his own right, third richest man in the world, and certified bait magnet, Mark.
Hey.
And I am, of course, your forever host, SGD. We want to welcome our thousands and thousands of listeners to this Damn Good Question podcast. Mark, what did we learn this last week?
Oh, no. Was there anything going on last week?
Turn on the TV before we come in and do a podcast so we know what's really happening.
Well, I tell you what, we had
well, that's what happens when we get up so damn early to do it.
Yeah, we had some nasty storms here the last day
I'm talking about last week.
Yeah,
we did the podcast not even knowing that there was a war going on.
Yeah, there's a war going on. You know that?
Well,
some people say World War III. And you know,
war.
Can we officially announce here on the most important podcast that matters,
the only one,
that because of all the countries involved, this is definitely, without a doubt, World War III.
Definitely.
Now, doesn't have to last as long as 1 and 2. It doesn't have to involve the deaths, although probably Iran has got some pretty good death numbers.
Yeah.
But it's probably not. But this is definitely, you have to call it World War III. We finally made it. All my life, they've been talking about World War III.
Right.
And here, now, with Donald Trump, it took Donald Trump to finally get us over the hump and now have World War III.
Except for, the usual suspects aren't really in it, except for the fact that Russia...
Well, the Nazis are in it. They say Trump's a Nazi. So.
Yeah. Russia has been giving Iran intel on where our troops and our movements are.
Well, I
don't know if it's done them any good.
What does World War I and World War II have in common?
What is that, Mark?
Germany. And Germany's involved now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here on Damn Good Question.
Them damn crowds.
We are in World War III.
We are in World War III.
There you go. And stop not saying that. Let's call it what it is, World War III.
Yeah, sure. The Iraq War was bigger. That should have been
World War III.
That was way
so
bigger.
Was Vietnam. But the definition of a world war is the world being at war.
Yeah, but the Iraq War was much bigger because there was many more countries involved in it than what is involved in this.
Okay, then here for the first
time. So what are we, World War IV then?
World War IV.
World War IV.
Okay.
4. We get the 4.
Yeah.
We get the 4.
Because when we get to 10 and our card is punched with 10, we get a special prize.
We get the 11th for free. As we should.
As we should.
As we should.
Yeah. So World War IV. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
They didn't call World War I.
They called it the Great War.
They called it the Great War, and then World War II wasn't. They were calling it World War II, weren't they?
Yeah,
they pretty much defined it as that after it started. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, just because people aren't keeping track, and we are.
In Iran, I think, has learned what Japan learned right at the very beginning of World War II. You can't poke the sleeping giant and expect that the giant is going to stay sleeping forever. Honestly, I believe this is something that should have happened a very long time ago. The minute they took American hostages, the first time, right after the Ayatollah came to power and they take American hostages, that should have been it. When they bombed our barracks in Beirut and killed all of our soldiers, that should have been the red line that we went in and just...
There's a lot of red lines. And when we don't redline people, they get out of control. Putin could have been controlled and taken care of decades ago.
I agree.
The guy in North Korea, same thing.
The only reason why they didn't is because they were afraid China would get themselves involved because, China had nuclear
China
weapons.
is getting its butt kicked right now. A lot of people.
Yeah.
I was hearing a commentator, and I don't know if it was Ben Shapiro or not, but I think it was Ben, so I think I can credit Ben on this. What's really going on with all of this, not just Iran, is that China is being really put down. They can't get any oil from Venezuela.
This is what I've told you.
They can't get any. And there was one other thing. There's 3 things that Trump's been doing that has really, really messed up China.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things. Venezuela first.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, even before taking Venezuela, the stopping of the narco states, the drugs coming across the border in Mexico, almost all that drugs, the precursors were all made in China and shipped into Mexico and made. Same with Venezuela. It's amazing how taking these pieces off the board and the effect that it is having on China. Mm-hmm. Now you got the absolutely insane Tucker Carlson, who has really lost his mind.
Used to like him.
Used to love him. Really lost his mind talking the other day about how China really is the global power and we're second-class citizens to them. And I'm like, who pays him to say this stuff? Where does he get this? Where does he... And he's like saying, oh, it's not even close. You know, if you think America's powerful, you don't know what China's like and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you have gone so far off the rails.
Yeah.
So far. He tried spreading a lie that Mossad agents were planting bombs in Qatar and Saudi Arabia to say that it was Iran is doing. Qatar came out, who is friends with Tucker Carlson, and said there is zero evidence of this whatsoever. Zero.
Yeah, even Qatar is on our side now, 100%, and
correct,
not helping Iran anymore.
Correct.
You know,
the next thing
Qatar has to do the writing on the wall.
Yeah. The next thing Qatar has to do, though, to actually stand up and be worth a damn, is get rid of the Muslim Brotherhood that's in their country. Stop leaving it be a safe haven for that terrorist organization.
People, there's one thing that ties all this together, and that's the Islamic State. Period. All over the world.
Period. Yep.
Islam is wrong. It's evil, and it needs to be eradicated. They need to come to Jesus. There you go.
I don't even care if they come to Jesus.
I do.
I don't. Because
as a Christian,
I
want everyone to come to Jesus.
I want everybody to come to Jesus, but I'm not going to force anybody because Jesus don't want me to force them. Jesus wants me to let them come of their own volition.
Oh, sure. But, you know, they already... Jesus is already in the Quran. You know, Jesus is in the Quran. I believe, I'm correct on this. Jesus is talked about and in the Quran more than Muhammad is.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Muhammad is not.
I mean, that evil book anyway.
Yeah. He was evil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was
evil.
He was a horrible.
People, this is not somebody you want to
He wasn't a prophet.
And he wasn't a leader, and he wasn't somebody you should look up to.
No.
Jesus was.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Jesus was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that Jesus was a cool person.
You know what? It took me until my kids on one Father's Day bought me a present to realize that Jesus was right.
Yeah.
Sandals were really nice to wear. I stayed away from sandals forever, and the kids got me a pair of sandals for Father's Day one year, and I tried them on. I'm like, you know what? That guy had it figured out. I'm not wearing robes out and about, though. I mean,
speaking of that, we should promote. Another podcast we do here at the podcast room. No, we shouldn't.
No, just in case they don't want to be affiliated with us.
No, she has no problem with that. We can promote. If you want to know about Jesus Christ and everything, go over to Straight Talk and Coffee. Yeah, it's on Spotify too. Straight Talk and Coffee. Yeah, no, that's fine. No, we're not. Yeah, she doesn't like us.
So some people don't like us.
Some people don't like us.
Some people don't want other people knowing that they listen to us. Some people don't want other people knowing that they know us.
Yeah.
Right. So it's what it is, and I don't mind. My opinions are not for everybody. They should be, but they're not because they're the right opinions.
Well, I don't even agree with you.
Well, that's why you're here, so I can prove you wrong. What are we going to talk about first, Mark?
We're going to talk about Venezuela.
Yeah, so I guess we kind of already started, but I love this. This is from an article and a correspondent for NPR. It is absolutely surreal because you land at the airport and the signs are in Spanish, Russian, Arabic, and Chinese, which tells you just where this country was facing a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And then you go out on the streets and people here tell you that they feel like a weight has been lifted. And that is from the NPR correspondent.
NPR.
Yeah. The right wing bastion of truth, NPR. Yeah. Says he was amazed. Right now, we actually have a team there negotiating a rare earth deal with him as well. And Rodriguez, who is running the country right now, it has come out and publicly said that this is working very well. Because, yes, she started as that firebrand saying, oh, we don't want America here, da-da-da-da-da. Now the truth has come out. First of all, she's a CIA asset. They had flipped her. Mm-hmm. That's how they knew they could take out Maduro, right? Her and her brother were flipped. Oh. Yeah, her and her brother. How
much did that cost us?
Her leading the country right now.
Oh, really? I'm sure there was some money involved.
I'm sure there is.
We're just fine.
But what she is saying is that money is now flowing into Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
From the oil that the United States is selling for them.
Citgo went back. It was always in, but they're back in more.
No, it's not Citgo. It's somebody else.
Citgo. That was Citgo.
Was it Conoco? No. It
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's some oil companies in there. They're getting back their equipment that they built to begin with.
Yep. We had a treaty, for those of you who don't know, we had a treaty with Venezuela that our oil companies would set up the infrastructure, run it, and Venezuela would profit from that. And then Chavez nationalized everything, stole all the infrastructure, and kicked everybody out. Yeah. And then the oil coming out of Venezuela plummeted because they couldn't run the stuff that they stole. And they
that would be a good country to get turned around because of its location. And
like I said, I can't wait to go on vacation there in a few years.
No, I get it. And I tell you what, just a sidebar, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I can't wait to go on vacation in Cuba.
Yep.
That may be happening very fast.
That might be happening very fast. I saw earlier this week that they lost power in many parts of Cuba because they don't have oil. So the lights were out, and
saw them using a bad battery flashlights. I tell you what, just FYI, folks, a stock tip. We don't give stock tips too much, but a stock tip. You might want to invest in Energizer. Just a stock tip. It seems like a lot of people in the world are using Energizer and Duracell. They might be, wouldn't that be funny? Because I have no idea. Wouldn't that be funny if somebody looked, hey, thanks for the stock tip. They were tripling.
All this in Venezuela really shows what we can do.
Yeah.
And how people need to be freed from dictatorships
like
this.
And it doesn't take that much.
And we also hit a bunch of drug cartels in Ecuador.
Yeah, I'm worried a little bit about what's going on in Mexico because the cartels have...
They own 1/3 of the territory in Mexico. And...
yeah, but you know what?
Things will change there. Things will change there.
I would just have to think that... the president there, she knows that if it gets too hairy and everything, Donald will just send in the troops. I would have to think that we would do that.
I imagine right now that they use special forces to train them how to take out the cartel leader that they did a few weeks ago. Anyways, so I imagine we have a lot more going on in there than most people know. I mean, if they're going to admit that we had special forces training their guys to take him out, okay. Our special forces were probably the ones who did it. They just don't want to say that our guys did it. We showed them how to do it. We trained them and let them do it. Whatever. Sure we did. Whatever. I don't believe that for a minute.
Well, I've watched some of the movies over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always good movies when they go into Mexico and knock somebody out. You know?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of those good movies, and who's to say that that's not true? But we'll see. We got to make sure Mexico gets rid of these people.
I agree.
This is too close to home.
Way
And
too
we're
close.
talking about Iran. Yeah, this is right at our doorstep.
Yeah.
And in fact, they operate and have crossed and are operating right here in the good old USA.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, so these people have got to be taken out. Yeah,
all the time. I agree. 100%.
Okay.
All right. What are we on to next?
No, you wanted to talk about what's basically the same
thing.
Crime, but probably a little bit different. Crime. What do you want to talk about?
So I just want to run over a few things. Abdul Jahal.
I want to run over a few things too.
Yeah.
Let me give you a list of names.
He was charged with second-degree murder after he allegedly stabbed a mother to death while at a bus stop in Fairfax County, Virginia on February 23rd.
Those bus stops.
Yep. The attorney, Commonwealth attorney Steve DeSano, who knows, was warned several times about how dangerous he was and dismissed many of his previous criminal charges. In January of 2025, according to a report, an illegal alien from Guatemala choked his ex-wife during an argument and pulled out a knife. He was charged with felony abduction by force, felony strangulation, and misdemeanor assault, battery against a family member after the incident. They allowed him to plead to lesser charges of misdemeanor battery and brandishing a bladed weapon.
Mm.
In July 2021, Real was arrested on charges of sexual penetration, forcible sodomy, and aggravated sexual battery against a minor, according to Fairfax County Times. During Real's trial on September 13, 2022, the chief judge of the county circuit court ruled that the Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office had missed an evidentiary deadline, meaning confessions, including the call from Real to the defendant's mother, where he allegedly confessed, as well as other evidence and witnesses couldn't be used in court. According to the outlet, that means that the case would rely only on victims' testimony. As a result, Real was offered a plea deal and pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and battery and was sentenced to 1 year in prison, but was released on time served. And he also wasn't required to register as a sex offender for what he did to that boy. Okay? Now we have a parolee with a criminal record that includes 131 prior arrests in New York City, was busted for setting a homeless man on fire as he slept at Penn Station. Damon Johnson, 47, is charged with attempted murder and assault for attacks on a 37-year-old with second-degree burns with on his arms and back. Johnson, who is currently on parole for robbery until 2027, has an extensive criminal record that includes a whopping 131 arrests since he was first busted for assault in the Bronx in 1995. That means this man has been arrested 4.2 times a year since 1995. Whoa. So pretty much he's been arrested once every 3 months. Less than every 3 months. 131 arrests. Why is this man out? Why is this man still alive? Why is this man... You know what? You know what every single one of these guys have in common? They're all the right skin color for social justice and criminal reform. Okay, they're illegal aliens. They're black. They're men, and every single one of them have been arrested at least 15 times. This last guy, 131 times. All of them for multiple violent crimes. All of them. Why are they out?
You were talking about these dictators that we go in and take out and don't allow. Why do we allow? We got these people. We arrest them. We don't punish them. We don't rehabilitate them. And people, yes, you rehabilitate these people. You can rehabilitate them.
No. Not after 131 times.
Well, no, after the first time you can. And I tell you what, it means you're not nice to them and give them a nice bed and a cell and 3 meals a day and some exercising. That's not how you
and tell them that they have rights.
That's not how you rehabilitate them. There are ways to rehabilitate.
And keep bringing drugs to them in the prisons like they do.
These prisons need to rehabilitate these people. And it's nasty and it's mean. And yes.
Good.
And it's good. Because when you actually rehabilitate somebody and make sure that they have changed, and you know how you do that.
How do you do that, Mark?
You bring Jesus into their lives. and I'm not kidding, because almost all of these people also, they don't ever do a statistic and everything, I don't think, about what the religion is and what they think. I am sure most of these people do not say, "Well, I believe in Jesus Christ."
Well, I'm going to drop a few statistics on you here in just a minute. But first of all, I'm going to tell you right now that these prosecutors who go lean on these guys and drop charges, these judges who allow these people to walk, every single one of them need to be punished.
Yeah.
If somebody you let go free from a violent conviction and they've murdered, they've assaulted children, they've raped children, and you let them go and they do it again, you go to jail.
Yeah.
You go to prison. If a bartender can be charged for over-serving someone who goes out and gets in an accident and kills somebody, you need to be charged for letting these murderers out. You need to be charged for letting somebody be arrested 131 times to be back out on the street to do it again.
And a lot of times it is the same judge or judges.
Yes.
It's not like it's 131 different judges.
Prosecutors.
Yeah, and prosecutors.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They should be able to be held accountable. The families should be able to go and sue them. The families should be able to have them arrested. If you're going to let these people go, if you're going to let these people walk, you deserve to be punished for it. You deserve it, as well as they deserve to be punished. Statistics, Mark.
Okay.
70% of people who are arrested in the United States are arrested one time. 70%.
Mm.
And it's usually when they're young, and it's for, something stupid. Maybe a drunk driving charge once, you're driving while intoxicated, which you should never do, or petty theft. They walked out of a store with something, they got arrested for it. That's 70% of all arrests in the United States. People are arrested one time. Okay. Oh no. Excuse me. I'm sorry. 70% of people in the United States are never arrested, ever. 70% of the people in the United States are never arrested. 25% of people are arrested one time.
Okay.
All right. Are arrested one time. And that's for the kind of things. 5% make up the rest of all arrests in the United States. 5% of the population of the United States makes up for 95% of all arrests in the United States are caused by 5% of the population. These are mass offenders. These are people who have been let out so many times, given so many second chances. They need to be locked up. Key needs to be thrown away, or they just need to be put in the ground. If you can't rehabilitate these people, and these people don't want to be rehabilitated, if you're not going to send them to a mental hospital to where they can actually be seen whether they're psychotic or not, or if you're just going to send them there and say, like in the case of one guy, he is being sent to a mental hospital because they said he's mentally unfit. But if he stays there long enough before they're determined, then he can walk without ever being charged. He can walk without ever being charged because he stayed enough time and they couldn't find him competent enough to stand trial for his crimes. Oh, I can't wait to commit some crimes and then just say, look, I'm crazy. All right.
You wouldn't have much problems.
No.
Yeah.
No. All they have to do is go back and listen to some of these episodes and they'll know I'm crazy, right?
Well, and I read someplace, and I don't exactly know the article of everything, but it makes sense. And they were saying that, and I think it was Chicago, they have a list of names of all the people that are causing most of the problems.
They know that in Chicago, 120,000 people are known gang members. 120,000 people.
And these are the ones that are causing all the crime problems.
You know who causes that 5%? That 5%. 98% of that 5% are black males between the age of 14 and 40 years old.
And I bet none of them voted Republican.
I guarantee you most of them don't vote. I bet they could care less. They're too busy hurting people, stealing from people, getting their next fix. They could care less. Yeah. They don't belong in this civilization. Some people just cannot be civilized. And we need to do something different to get rid of these people out of our system. Because America should be the safest country in the world. You should be able to walk anywhere at any time, day or night, without being armed.
What's the country that locked them all up?
El Salvador.
Yes,
El Salvador.
Why can't we use their...
Because they have rights in this country, Mark.
No, you don't have rights.
No, you don't have... Once you've committed these crimes, you don't have rights. And we should stop saying it's inhumane and it's this and it's that. You've committed a violent act where you've murdered someone, your rights are gone. Because you took their rights.
You know, I hear freedom is just another word.
For nothing left to lose.
No, they don't have rights. Once you've committed a violent crime, if you steal a pack of gum from a grocery store, you have rights, yes. And if you've done something bad, you have a right, and hopefully, yeah. But after 131 times, there are no rights.
There are no rights,
folks.
There are no rights.
And, like El Salvador does, you just create these places and lock them up.
And you're rough on them. The prisoners don't get to run around freely inside those prisons in El Salvador.
I've seen them. They look like little robots.
Yes.
They do not.
Yeah.
And
because they know that they can actually be punished.
Yeah. That
there's no lawyer sitting, no little white liberal woman sitting outside waiting to come to their rescue.
Yeah.
Right? Things need to be changed. Yeah. We can't let these monsters keep destroying our civilization.
First thing we need to do is take the right to vote away from women, obviously.
They
have really misused that to the nth degree. And don't let them drive either.
Yeah.
The kitchen and the house, they got things to clean, kids to raise, and a meal to cook. A sexist would say.
That's what a sexist would say.
Show says.
That's right.
You get away with that as long as you have the tagline. A sexist would say.
Yeah, I agree.
So we don't want any. Well, actually, we do want emails and text. Go ahead. Yeah.
Bring it up.
Bring your hatred on.
Bring it on.
We will take it. We'll be glad to.
Well, we're also going to take you guys are so right because.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Most of you know that we're so right on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What do you have next?
Well, I want to talk today as one citizen to another about what has been happening with Iran, what we have done, and why we felt we had to do it. For a long time, the government of Iran has been one of the most disruptive forces in its part of the world and the entire world. It has funded and armed groups that fire rockets at our friends and partners. It has helped militias plant bombs near our troops. It has threatened ships moving through key waterways that carry the oil and goods that the world economy depends on, again and again. It has pushed toward dangerous nuclear capabilities while hiding what it was doing and breaking promises it made to the international community. None of this began overnight. For years, both Republican and Democrat administrations tried to solve these problems without force. We used diplomacy. We sat at the table all the time while they would use force against us, killing our troops, using roadside bombs. We offered reasonable deals to limit Iran's nuclear program and reduce tensions. We worked with Europe, with our allies in the Middle East, and the United Nations to put pressure on Iran through economic sanctions instead of conflict. We did everything we could to send a clear message. There is a peaceful path, and we prefer it. But while we were trying these peaceful tools, Iran kept testing the limits. Its leaders believed that they moved carefully and slowly, one provocation at a time. We would look the other way. They directed or supported attacks on our bases through proxy groups. They fired missiles and drones at our partners. They harassed and sometimes seized commercial ships and vital shipping lanes. They kept moving closer to the point where they could build a nuclear weapon if they chose to. There comes a moment when any country has to answer a hard question. How many times can we allow our people to be threatened or attacked and still say we are doing our duty to protect them? Mm-hmm. Words matter, but they are not enough if they're never backed up by action. When American service members are being targeted, when our allies are under constant threat, when global trade is put at risk, doing nothing is not staying out of trouble. It is inviting bigger trouble later. This is why we took action. In recent weeks and months, we ordered precise strikes on locations that were directly tied to Iran's ability to attack us and partners. These were command centers, storage depots, missile and drone facilities, and other sites that played a role in planning or carrying out hostile acts. These operations were not random, and they were not revenge. They were designed to do three things: protect American lives, reduce Iran's ability to strike again, and send an unmistakable message that there is a real cost to attacking the United States and our allies. Mm-hmm. A cost that is way overdue. Way overdue. We were careful in how we did this. We did not launch a full-scale war. We did not try to occupy territory. We did not target the Iranian people or their basic infrastructures. Instead, we chose limited actions aimed at military and terror-related capabilities, and we do so with the goal of stopping a slide toward a much larger and more deadly conflict. I want you to understand something very clearly. We do not hate the people of Iran. In fact, many of them are victims of their own government's choices, and we see that in the uprising of the Iranian people all around the world who are supportive of this and glad of the falling of the regime and the killing of the Ayatollah. They have lived under repression. They have suffered from economic mismanagement and corruption, kind of like New York is now. Mm-hmm. Many of them have bravely gone into the streets to call for a better life and freer future. Our problem is not with them. Our problem with those in power who use violence, threats, and terror as tools of policy, kind of like the Democrats.
Yeah.
We also know what war looks like. War is not a video clip or on a distant map. War means empty seats at dinner tables, children growing up without parents, and families shattered forever. This is why we do not seek a wider war with Iran. We are not looking for a chance to invade another country or to rebuild another nation. We're acting now in a measured way precisely so we can avoid a larger conflict later. Strength used wisely can prevent war. It does not always cause it. Some of you may be asking, why should we care what happens over there? Why is this our problem? And that is a fair question. Sure. The answer in today's world, trouble is in one region does not stay neatly inside its borders. When shipping lanes are threatened, prices at our gas pumps and in our stores go up. When terrorists gain safe havens and support, they don't stop at attacking their neighbors. They eventually target us. See 9/11. When a hostile regime gets closer to having a nuclear weapon, the risk of a disaster that could touch every corner of the globe rises. When our negotiators went to them and they told us that they had enough material to make, 9 or 11 nuclear bombs now?
I think it was 11. Yeah.
That had to be the end of them. And Trump knew it. Yeah. America is a global power, if not, honestly, the only global power. People will point to China, but I'm going to tell you now, China is not what China says they are. No one can prove the numbers or the things that China claims, and that's the whole point. China makes these claims that China cannot be what they say they are. China cannot have the amount of people they say they are, thanks to their one-child program that they had for, 40 or 50 years? There's no way that their population sustained growing over billion and billion when they could only have one child, and most of those child were men. I don't believe it for a minute. China's economic power comes from destroying most of everything that they build and rebuilding it to keep their people working.
Yeah, they're a mess over there.
They're a mess. But more than being a global power, it is a country built on certain principles. That we stand by our friends, that we do not shrug when innocent people are targeted, and that we protect our citizens wherever they serve. If we turned our backs now, we would allow constant attacks on our forces and our partners to go unanswered. We would send a signal of weakness that would invite more aggression, because weakness always invites more aggression. Always. It would invite weakness from Iran and from others who are watching to see if we mean what we say. And in my opinion, it has been a long time coming. At the same time, we are not relying on force alone. We're working with other countries to cut off funding to the groups they support. We're strengthening missile defenses and sharing intelligence with our allies. And we have kept the door open, always, to a diplomatic solution. A solution in which Iran chooses to step back away from the brink, stop supporting terror, and return the community of nations as a responsible member. We have no desire to be enemies forever. We would welcome a day when our two countries can coexist peacefully again, because we used to.
Yeah, big time.
When our soldiers no longer have to watch the skies for incoming drones, and our soldiers no longer have to worry about seized ships in distant straits. I want to also speak directly to our men and women in uniform. They are pilots, sailors, soldiers, Marines, guardians, and airmen who carry out difficult missions far from home so that dangers do not come to our shores. We owe them more than words. We owe them clear missions, the equipment they need to succeed, and the support from a united country here at home. The actions we have taken are meant to protect them and reduce the chances that they will be drawn into a much larger conflict. And then the fact that 53 Democrats can't say that Iran is a state sponsor of terror tells you everything you need to know and who they really are. This is not about politics, though. This is about duty. Every president swears an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the United States. Part of that duty means making decisions that are painful, complex, and not always popular, but necessary. I would rather face tough questions now for acting than stand before you later having explained why we ignored the warning signs and allowed a preventable tragedy to unfold. If Iran ever had a nuclear weapon, which they have sworn that the minute they had, they would use, what would be our answer then? Today, I ask you for something simple but powerful. Stay informed, stay calm, stay united. We can debate policies, we can disagree on the best path forward, but we should never doubt that we are on the same side, and that's America's side. Our adversaries watch our arguments. They hope to see division. Some of them even pay for it. We need to show them that while we argue at home, we stand together when it comes to defending our country and our people. We seek peace, but we will not run from responsibility. We do not ask for this confrontation, but we will meet it with clear eyes and steady hands. We will protect our citizens, support our friends, and do everything we can to shape a future in which our children live in a world that is safer, not more dangerous, because of the choices we made, which also goes back to the crime here at home. Mm-hmm. We are America, and we stand for our people, not just here at home, but around the world. But the big question is, how do we stop the trashing of our country by those elected to lead our country? And that today, Mark, is our damn good question.
Okay.
Thoughts, Mark?
Well, number one, we seem to have the support of everybody around the world.
including in the Middle East.
Yeah, even Qatar and some other places. So they are up against, I tell you what, my understanding, and I can believe it happened, is there was a phone call to ran out of power probably.
Yeah.
It wasn't out of power, it was still recording.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I forget what it's. Oh, yeah, with support around the world. My understanding is that when this all started happening and everything, they made a phone call to Russia, and I guess Russia probably said, "Yeah." So, and they made a phone call to China, and they said, "Yeah,
good luck."
Yeah. So much for having friends.
Yeah.
If those three countries are aligned, that was the axis. They sure didn't come running to help, did they?
No.
This is like. So if anything happens with China, Russia's not getting involved. If anything happens to Russia, China's not getting involved. Although China has, I guess, sent some troops to Ukraine and stuff like that.
Oh, well, Russia's paying for them.
Yeah, but
they get most of them from North Korea.
That's mercenaries, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the other thing is, let us not forget that there has always been massive protest and everything. Going back to World War II, there was a lot on the left and everything, and people out in the street protesting and supporting Adolf Hitler. Okay?
I'm shocked that the left supported Adolf Hitler.
And
you mean
that we had no right?
You mean the party of the KKK?
Yeah.
The party of Jim Crow?
Yeah.
You mean the party that didn't want equal rights for people of color in this country supported Adolf Hitler? Mark, say it isn't so.
They're crazy, by the way.
These people are crazy.
They're
yes,
crazy.
They are crazy. I also believe, Mark, that if we look, we will find that China is paying for most of the protests here in the United States.
Well, it's so funny that they were protesting against Israel and Hamas and Palestine, and then all of a sudden they switched real quick to Iran, and just for a few minutes they didn't have enough time to build up to Venezuela.
The funny thing is, well, they tried, but like with the Venezuela action, they got pushback because too many Venezuelans in this country stood up and said it was a great thing, thank you. Same thing with the Iranian people in this country and around the world are standing up saying thank you, God bless you, the United States, God bless you, President Trump. There was a rally in New York yesterday where a guy was holding up a sign and was saying something about the unjust killing of the Ayatollah, and he got attacked by all these Iranian people. They beat the living hell out of him.
Good. That needs to happen.
But I really do believe
that
a lot of
positive protesting going around the world.
Yes.
A lot of rallies pro America
going
around the world. That's good to see.
That is very good to see.
Shut off these left weirdo freaks that are in our city. These trans people. All these gay people, all alphabet people, as
the alphabet soup people.
Alphabet people. These are mentally ill people.
They are,
all of them.
Oh, hey, they're leftists. We already knew they're mentally ill people. They're on the left, and they're sneaky. They're horrible, and they're so afraid of losing power. Just to show you, honestly, about losing power is why they don't want the SAVE Act, to where you have to have identity, just to prove that it is not just the left in this country. Look at Spain. Mm-hmm. Spain just naturalized 500,000 Africans to give them the right to vote before the next election, because they're afraid that if they don't have their vote, the right is going to take power in Spain. They gave 500,000 Africans, migrants, the right to vote in Spain to try and ward off the right.
Europe is seeing, the one country in Europe that people should watch?
Poland.
Absolutely. How many immigrants?
Hungary's not bad either.
How many immigrants? Zero.
Zero.
These poor people, zero. We're not letting them in.
Zero. And they can show you that once they left socialism in Poland, once they left socialism behind in Poland, their economy, their people, everything took off in Poland for them. Everything took off when they went to our system.
Yeah. Well, we need to have more pro-American rallies.
We do.
And we've had a couple here, but not as many as the other side has had rallies. So we need to have pro-American rallies and pro-Christian rallies. We need to have these. We need to stand up. And a lot of times, we're busy working, raising kids.
We are.
But these people that have nothing to do and don't work, and we're paying their
they got to go, man. We got to get rid of these people.
Yep.
We got to get rid of these people.
Yep.
We also need to get rid of these left people.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of the left congressmen, senators. They are fools. They are agitators. They speak out of both sides of their mouth. I know Republicans do too, but not like this. Not like this to where when Biden's in office, they're saying that we have to do something about Venezuela and we have to do something about Iran, and then Trump does it and they say it's illegal. Mm-hmm. And that how dare he?
Well, you saw where
this has got to stop.
Biden said, when asked about Iran, and he said,
Don't. Well, Kamala Harris said the same thing. What would you tell Iran? Don't.
That's scary.
It is scary.
I tell you what, I'm shaking in my. Don't. Oh my God.
Don't. Don't, Mark. Don't. Yeah.
And what's going to happen if we do?
Don't.
Don't. We told you not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare you?
Don't.
Don't.
How does that work out?
How did it work out? Yep.
Well, don't, Mark. Don't.
Yep. So, we need to destroy the left. And, of course, we lost. Unfortunately for the Democratic Party, they lost a couple.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But now that we've done our damn good question,
you want some good news?
We need to thank our sponsor. So let's thank our sponsor over at Towhead Plumbing.
Got plumbing problems? Look no further than Towhead Plumbing, your local plumbing experts. Need a new faucet installed or an old one repaired? We've got you covered. Is your toilet giving you trouble? We specialize in toilet installation, replacement, and repairs. Thinking about a new garbage disposal or replacing the old one? Call us. Need a new dishwasher? We handle dishwasher installations and replacements with ease. And don't forget those outdoor hose bibs. We repair them too. For fast, reliable service, call Towhead Plumbing today at 704-813-5653. Your home deserves the best, and so do you.
Well, thank you, sponsor, Towhead Plumbing. We really appreciate you. Mm-hmm. But Mark, as always, we like to finish on some good news. I got some good news, Mark.
Okay.
I know you love her. Jasmine Crockett, gone.
Inspiration.
Gone.
Her words of wisdom. Gone. Words of wisdom were always, whenever I was down, whenever I needed a lift, just listening to her, just put a smile on my face.
Listening to her trying to figure out what accent she wanted to use depending on who she was talking to. Also gone. Do Nothing, who we had great hopes for. I had great hopes for him when he was elected. Dan Crenshaw, gone.
Dan
is gone.
He fell by the wayside.
Oh my gosh, how did he become so horrible?
I read his book a long time ago. Was very impressed with him. Even listened to his, I guess he did a podcast a few times, and then he just went off the rails.
Off the rail.
And he was on Gutfeld. Within the last actually few weeks, I think. And he looked awful. Yeah. Horrible. And so he's gone?
Yep, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the one that really upsets me the most. No? Al Green.
He's not gone. He goes to a runoff.
Oh, well, he's going to lose.
But he's going to lose.
I used to love his music. And he used to be my favorite artist, but he's gone.
I got a whole bunch of good news, though, Mark.
Okay.
Clinton clears Trump in the Epstein investigation.
Why in the world would he do that if it's not true?
Exactly.
Is he trying to build up some points with Trump?
No.
He might be.
Now, listen, he said that he even talked to Jeffrey about Trump.
Jeffrey, huh?
Yeah. Jeffrey. Yeah, they him and Bill were close. You don't fly on his. He doesn't visit the White House 17 times while you're president if you're not close to somebody. Sorry, Hillary.
Friends call him Jeffy.
Jeffy?
Yeah.
But Jeffy anyway, Pop.
Jeffy
Pop.
Jeffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, now, she absolutely lied. To Congress.
Absolutely. Said that she never met him.
There is proof, both video and audio proof, a lot of proof, that she absolutely lied about him.
Bill came
why,
in there and
why
just had
is she not in jail? Here again, why are these people not in jail, Donald?
They got to do it.
Pam Bondi, Cash. What is your problem? Arrest these people.
I don't disagree.
I mean, you're really making...
Arrest her. Bill's going to be like, thank you. Thank you, Donald.
You have made MAGA happy and proud now that I ran, but, that's going to be short-lived. Hopefully, just a couple weeks, we're going to forget about it. We're going to go back to why are there no people arrested?
Yeah.
So we're not going to forget about that.
Yeah, but, they're still going online and on TV and calling Donald a known pedophile and this and that, even though there's no credible evidence in the Epstein files whatsoever. Zero. And Bill Clinton even comes out and clears Ghislaine Maxwell had cleared Trump. Bill Clinton has now cleared Trump. But this it'll never be good enough for these people who want Trump to be involved and say that he is. But it's obviously the Epstein files show that Trump is the one who turned the FBI on to arresting Epstein for what he was doing with underage girls because
the Epstein files and everything, folks, and especially you MAGA folks and the conservative movement and everybody, quit wasting your time with it. They're never going to arrest anybody. So why are we wasting? Don't waste your time with it. Involve yourself maybe in learning how to cook, maybe some French cuisine or something, but don't waste your time on these Epsteins. Obviously, they're not intending, they're going to look at it. I guess 3 million pages is something to look at and everything, and they're going to say, oh my God, look who we found. And nobody gets arrested. Nobody gets put out of the fire.
So what? Well, nobody. But what are they really finding? They're not really finding anything other than the fact that Epstein was really good at lying and cheating people.
Mm-hmm.
He was good at making people think that he was their friends and then getting money out of them.
Yeah, and that involved everything from getting them prostitutes to getting them possibly getting them underage kids.
Maybe.
Like that doesn't go on even today.
Yeah.
And what was this thing about, I hear, eating babies?
We were talking about that last week.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, they're not bad if you cook them right with a little mushrooms and onion, okay?
I told you, that's why babies are always sticking their hands in their mouth and chewing on their hands.
Because they're good.
They know they taste good.
They taste good, folks. The people that are complaining about the babies getting eaten, shut up. How many abortions did we have last year?
Oh man,
so shut up.
Yeah,
we're
murdering so many children.
So a couple babies get eaten. Dogs and cats. And it's so funny that they say that some of the immigrants and everything aren't eating dogs and cats. That is just silly. Of course they are.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. Of
course they are.
Grow up.
Some more good news. Netflix dumps Meghan Markle.
That is not good news.
That is such great news because
so much.
Netflix has found out what Spotify found out, that they'd been markled. that it was all hype and fluff and no substance whatsoever. And guess what? Harry's probably figuring that out too, that he's been markled. He's probably finally figuring it out. He's like, I gave up being a prince for this.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
I need to get a divorce, go back and kiss my brother's ring and say I'm sorry.
I thought she was going back on TV as did that show ever start? Or
hell if I know,
but you know what?
Netflix has found out what Spotify said that they were
everybody,
grifters.
She should come. Megan, you are welcome here to come to this show and talk and defend yourself.
You are. You're welcome.
I'll tell you what, we'll buy you breakfast.
Bring your husband. We'll buy him breakfast too.
Yeah. We even might have some coffee cup gifts pretty soon.
Maybe.
Where they can get a free damn good question coffee mug.
Oh man.
Shouldn't promise. Maybe shouldn't even have leaked that, but I'm sure everybody out there.
We should definitely have shirts with QR codes that people can scan and find that we're damn good question.
Or tattoos. People are tattooing QR codes. I'm not kidding.
If somebody pays me enough money, I might get one.
Here, you want to be on? You want to get my Spotify channel? Here.
Yeah,
just scan my QR code.
Yeah. Jeez, oh, Pete, people are crazy.
That's better than tattooing a lot of the stuff they tattooed. So,
and my last.
This
is kind of good news, sad news, right?
Okay.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson had his going home celebration.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was 3 former presidents.
Did Trump show
up? No, Clinton, which is funny because
he was invited. It was a great part of Jesse's life.
Him and Jesse Jackson awarded Donald Trump lots of awards before Donald Trump became president of the United States for all the things that he had done for black people in New York City and how Donald helped fight for their rights and give them a fair chance. But once he was no longer a Democrat, that all stopped.
Yeah.
But let me tell you the funny thing that I see here. Jesse Jackson, who I really think later in his life became a race hustler and grifter.
Yeah.
But was a big part of the movement in this country, the civil rights movement in this country, for good or bad, gets less fanfare and less of a historical moment than George Floyd. So is that irony or is that justice?
Yeah.
A criminal drug dealer who died of an overdose gets a gold casket and 3 funerals, and Jesse Jackson gets less news coverage than him.
Yeah.
For all the work that he did. Good or bad.
Yeah.
Some of it was good. Obviously, some of it was good.
Yeah.
There was people that were helped by him. There were also people that were harmed by him.
No.
But there was nobody helped by George Floyd. Nobody.
Nope.
All he did was harm people. And Jesse Jackson can't get as good as a send-off.
That is sad.
I don't see Oprah crying in his casket.
No. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad.
So this just tells you what they really thought about you, Reverend, and how when you were no longer useful to them.
Yeah. It has been useful for many years. I know he's been sick.
Yeah.
But still.
A historical figure, though.
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson was a historical
figure. He ran
figure.
for president, once or twice?
At least twice. Yeah,
at least
that
twice.
I can remember.
I voted for him in the primary once.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
his Rainbow Coalition.
Yep. And
but
yeah, he
a footnote to George Floyd.
Yeah. Well, George Floyd is a hero and inspiration to all of us.
Mark, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, they can email me at mark@damngoodquestion.org. They can go to Facebook and see us on
the book.
They can find us on
the X.
We, of course, have always been on Spotify. We are now on Rumble.
Young man.
And we are now on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah.
So more information about those 2 platforms coming pretty soon. But we can be found on those 2 channels. Okay.
Yep. And we're going to start blasting that out everywhere. We're going to start blasting out that we're on YouTube. Rumble, like I said, we needed to get on Rumble because they are the only platform who does not censor people.
Yeah.
YouTube really likes to censor people.
Yeah.
Especially people who have things to say like we say.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with YouTube.
Yep.
And everything. But so far we haven't had any problems with anybody. We'll see.
It's coming.
Maybe it's coming.
It's coming.
Hopefully, bring it on.
Yep, bring it on. Bring it on. I know someone who works in a law office. So bring it on.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. That's it.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for joining us once again this week on A Damn Good Question. And until next time, God bless. See ya.
Bye.